Marvel Studios has moved on past the events of Avengers Endgame, and they are no longer focusing on the blip, the decimation, and that 5-year gap. And many people want to know why. So one of the producers of She-Hulk reveals why exactly this is the case. So this comes from an interview with Lifehacker, who sat down and talked with the head writer and executive producer of She-Hulk Attorney at Law, Jessica Gao. And she talked a little bit about the blip, the decimation, everything that Thanos did, and why they're not talking about it much at all, focusing on it in terms of depth, and trying to go back to that and build stories off of that. And what she says that essentially, it's time to move on. The MCU has already covered that with multiple projects and the fallout of it. And the MCU needs to move on past that, just like the people in the MCU. Life gets back to normal, and sometimes quicker than we would like. So she says that there's obviously things that call back to it, such as Bruce Banner's arms and multiple things out there. There's small little things that directly connect to those events, but again, the whole focus of the show or even giant subplots will not be focused onto it. And I've seen a lot of pushback against this, people saying it's just lazy writing and people would not actually move on past something this traumatic that changes the landscape of the world. And I just got to look back at the last 2.5 years or however long it was since all those shutdowns, and literally our world was changed, and where we are today, where a couple weeks ago I flew to Las Vegas, stayed there for 7 days, came back. Not once was I asked to wear a mask or anything, or test or anything. So we definitely moved past events real quick. So yeah, in my opinion, I think creatively, it's the best choice. Why keep going back to this? Why keep going back to the well? And let's be real, if they did, people would harp on them for, oh, you're focusing too much on this. Why can't you move on past Endgame? Because remember, people literally did the same thing for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and even Daredevil and all the other shows. You got Kingpin and he mentions the incident. And people are suddenly like, oh my god, they just can't get away from the Avengers. We get it, it's in the MCU. So like, let's move past it. You got better stories to tell. You know, there's new threats all the time. We don't need to focus on the thing that, in continuity, at this point happened years ago.